So I learned a lesson recently from my 8-year-old son about how to react when you want to quit. And I'm going to talk about it here today. Let's go. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. So recently I had a really rough day at Jiu Jitsu. And it was I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably my worst day. Like, sometimes you just go in to train and it's such a microcosm of real life, because sometimes you walk into a day in life where things just don't work, right? Have you guys ever felt like that, where it's like things just aren't working today and it sucks and you just want to quit everything? That happens a lot, right? But we can't do that. But jiu-jitsu is a microcosm of that. So one day I was at jiu-jitsu and I had just the worst rounds. Nothing was working. I just felt like my jiu-jitsu was shit. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, why do I even do this? Is what's going through my head. And I'm visibly frustrated. And my son was with me. He was waiting for me to be done. So I pick him up, we get in the car, and he says, "Dad, are you going to quit jiu-jitsu?" And it struck me so hard in that moment, because I was like, it almost like my stomach fell out, because I realized that I was letting my emotions, my negative emotions to be on full display, so much so that it felt like to him that I was going to quit. And so I was sitting there feeling like, I probably should have reacted differently to all of this. I'm just going through my head. And then I said, "No, buddy, no, not at all. I just had a bad day." And he also trains jiu-jitsu. And he says, "Oh, okay. Well, that happens to me all the time in jiu-jitsu, Dad. It's okay." And that was really all he said. But what I heard in that moment was the truth. And it was in the last words out of his mouth, which was, "It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I had a bad day. I'm not going to quit, because bad days happen, and it's okay." It was so simple. And I was so proud of him in that moment for realizing that we don't just quit because we had a bad day, right? We keep going and see what happens next time. And I feel like, and this is maybe, I don't know if this is true for you, but let's draw this into life and business and work and family, everything. There are certain things that obviously we can't quit, like parenting. I can't quit on that, right? Or my marriage. I can't quit on that. This is something that I want to cultivate, and I feel really passionate about making it good, right? It's part of my life's work to be good at those things. And so I can't quit. But it doesn't translate as easily to other commitments that we make in life. And jiu-jitsu being one of them, but I feel like weight training is also one of them for a lot of dudes. And I feel like also work. Not just going to work to make money and providing you got to do that or whatever. I'm talking about the reason you're here, man. The stuff that you do. We don't like talking about that, really. But it's something that we need to look at, is our life's work. Are we just quitting, maybe even before we start, on our life's work? How many of you guys have heard someone say, "I want to write a book," or "I want to start a business," or "I want to start a podcast"? And they just say these things, and then they just go back to work and they just continue to do the thing over and over and over again. You're never going to get momentum on something just by saying it out loud. In fact, I heard a guy named Matt Fury talking about this recently. He was like, just shut your mouth. When it comes to sharing your ideas, shut your mouth and just do it. And I heard another mentor of mine, Myron, he said, don't tell people what you're going to do. Show people what you did. And I think the reason for that is when we share something with someone, we get this little hit of dopamine. I've seen people do this with jiu-jitsu, by the way, and I did this for a while actually, where it's like, I'm going to start training jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do that. But it's hard to do, right? So most people just don't do it. And if they do it, they're like, oh, I'm not doing that. That's hard. Same is true with a lot of things. But I feel like whatever you're here to do, your life's work, which maybe partly just to be, maybe you're a dad, maybe you're a husband, that's really truly is a part of what you're leaving behind here. I don't want to skim over that. That's really important. But then also that there's this innate calling in you for more. and you're meant for more, and you can feel that. And you probably have a lot of ideas of what you want to do, but instead of sharing them out loud with people, why don't you just do them? And I think the answer is for two reasons. Number one is that I think we're kind of prone to just talk about what we want to do instead of actually doing it and then telling people we did it. We're prone to do that. So I encourage you to break that habit and just do stuff and then show people what you did. But the second thing is, it's hard. The same reason why people, like I wanted to quit Jiu Jitsu that day, why I wanted to feel that, why I was feeling so much frustration. And normally, even in my mind, probably I was thinking, man, I just don't want to do this anymore. But I keep going back because it makes me better. I keep going back because it's difficult. And if you can switch that in your brain to know that your life's work, whatever that looks like, is going to require more of you. It's going to require you to step up into another level and almost into another identity. So what if there was a way for you to do that on a consistent basis and remind yourself of who the F you are and who you're becoming? That's why I made the momentum map, and that's why I do momentum coaching for men. So if that's you and you're looking for that, you can work with me, of course, or you can figure this out on your own, whatever. But the truth is you have to stay in momentum. That's the only way any of this stuff works. And it's so tempting to stay in a rhythm of sameness instead of shifting, up-leveling into momentum. So if you want like a flat line kind of life, that's available. Most people are living it. But the truth is there's more available to you, and it doesn't include this like raw, like we got to get going, like let's load up the who's going to carry the boats type of stuff. That it doesn't include that. What it is like a simple commitment to a vision. And that's what I help people do. So if you know that you have something you want to accomplish and you have something, maybe you're even progressing in it right now, but you know, like, gosh, I can feel that I'm not going fast enough, and I can feel that I want to move in a better way, in a bigger way, so that I can show up fully, then that's what momentum is for. So if you'd like some help with that and you want me to walk you through the momentum map personally, you can go to chriscreed.com/map, download it there, and sign up with a call with me on the next page, and we'll chat about it. But either way, that's the real answer. And just like my son said, I love that. And I love that I'm about to say this. Just like my son said to me, sometimes I want to quit because I had a bad day. But that's okay. It's okay. Then the problem comes in the stopping. I had this thing that I used to say that if you want to get where you want to go, then you have to stop stopping. Because every time you stop, you don't just stop where you are, you actually like retreat back. It's like going up to the cave of a dragon. The dragon comes out. You fight the dragon to 10% health, right? And then you run and retreat and allow the dragon to go back in the cave and heal back to 100% health. You come back out and you fight him again. Same dragon. Why? Why would you do that? Why don't you just kill the dragon, man, and then move on in the story? That's momentum, and that's what has to happen. And I tell all of this through the lens of a story. And when I work with people, I work with people through the lens of a story, because I understand something that I want you to understand right now here today, is that you're in a story, and in the story, there's dragons, and there's things that pop up that are going to stop you, and you have to know what those things are. And when I teach the momentum map and when I walk people through that process of momentum mapping, we walk through the things that are going to stop you ahead of time so that you know what's coming. That's something that Frodo didn't have, right? That's something that all the heroes didn't have. They don't know what's coming. And obviously we can't predict everything. And that's why we need to look at the things that we can predict. And what are those things? Those are things that always stop you, man. And it's in the form of words. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Who are you to do this? These words will stop you. And you have your own words, and I help you draw those things out. But it's the words that stop us. So if we can take the charge out of these experiences that may have happened in the past that you're telling stories about still, if we can take the charge out of those, then we can get the outcomes we desire, which is going to help us progress on the quest. So if you want some help with this, go to chriscree.com/map. I can help you walk through this. I'm happy to do that. I would love to do that for free for you. You have to know that even when you want to quit, it's okay. Because everybody faces that feeling. Everybody feels that from time to time. And sometimes you have bad days, but that's okay. Guys, I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, man, I would love to work with you to help you get into momentum. Go to chriscree.com/map and sign up there. You can click the link in the description and we'll go from there. All right. See y'all. Bye.
There's nothing to get you. Can always turn it around.